Hello, welcome to Lil's Vintage World. In this video I'm going to be doing a tag video. It's an Agatha Christie book tag. This is called the Hercule Poirot Mystery Book Tag, and I was tagged by Alice from Alice and the Giant Bookshelf, who actually created this tag. She is the original creator. Alice is lovely and she does a whole host of different videos because she reads a whole host of different things, including Agatha Christie. So if you haven't checked Alice's channel out, please do. I'll leave it linked in the description box. Let's get straight into it. There are 10 questions. The first one being, Hercule Poirot is a detective who is extremely proud of his achievements. In the Mystery Blue Train, he announces, "My name is Hercule Poirot. I am probably the greatest detective in the world. If not Poirot, who is your favourite detective? And what book do you recommend featuring your favourite?" So if I had to pick my favourite detective, it would be Poirot. That is my favourite detective. If I couldn't pick Poirot, I'd pick Miss Silver, which is the detective created by Patricia Wentworth, which Patricia Wentworth was right at the same time as Agatha Christie. A contemporary, that's the word, a contemporary of Agatha Christie's. But as I said, Poirot is my favourite detective. So if you want to start with Poirot, you can, to be honest, you can kind of start anywhere apart from Curtin. Don't start with Curtin. But I always think it's, you know, a good place to start at the beginning. Mysterious Affair at Styles is a brilliant place to start. I don't think you necessarily have to start there, but I do think it's a wonderful access point because we access him through the eyes of Hastings, who is a wonderful, wonderful character as well. And yeah, I just love him. So yes, that is my answer for question 1. Question 2. Hercule Poirot famously uses little grey cells to solve cases. Have you ever solved an Agatha Christie mystery? If yes, which one? If no, is there an author whose mysteries you have solved? So my answer is yes. I have solved them. The problem is I finished all Agatha Christie's books quite a long time ago, so I can't remember which ones I did remember doing and which haven't. I remember quite vividly the later ones. I solved Elephants Can Remember and Dead Man's Folly. And I've solved quite a few others, but I can't remember, it's just been that long. But those are the two that I could definitely remember. But to be honest, I'm pretty good at it. I mean, not to like be boastful, but I am quite good at it. But I don't get there the same way that the detective gets there. I think I get there quite a weird route. I think I just don't trust people. I think that's my issue. Question 3. The Mysterious Affair at Styles is the introduction to Hercule Poirot. Recommend a first book in a series where you meet one of your favourite characters. And for this, I am recommending Rosemary and Thyme and No Birds Sing by Brian Eastman. I adored watching Rosemary and Thyme when it was on the TV. It stars Pam Ferris and Felicity Kendall as this gardening duo called Rosemary and Thyme, and they solve murder mysteries together. Detective gardeners, it's wonderful. It's very tongue-in-cheek, very cozy. It's wonderful to watch. Really light-hearted, and Pam Ferris and Felicity Kendall are fantastic, as they always are. And from the success of the show, 3 books came out. And No Birds Sing is the first one, which is the title of the series 1, episode 1 in the series. And it is exactly the series, but extended. So we actually see Pam Ferris's character, Laura Thyme. We see her at home, pottering around at her garden. We see her making a casserole ready for her husband to come home and leave her. And then we see Felicity Kendall's character, Dr. Rosemary Boxer, at university, being a university professor. So it's the TV show, but extended. It's incredible. So yeah, I absolutely adored this book and reread it fairly often. Question 4. Murder on the Orient Express. Agatha Christie wrote several books set in different types of transport. What is your favourite mystery set on a train, plane, boat? I'm cheating a little bit for this because I couldn't think of one which wasn't Murder on the Orient Express, and I thought everyone's going to say Murder on the Orient Express. So I've cheated. I've picked this one. This is Death on the Cherwell by Mavis Dorhay. I really like Mavis Dorhay. This is one of the British Library crime classic books, which I think are wonderful, and from these books I found Mavis Dorhay and I really enjoy her writing. So yes, this one is actually set at like a ladies' college, and there is a death on a chairwell, so on the water. So I'm sort of cheating, sort of not. But if you haven't read any Mavis Store Hay, please do. She's wonderful. Okay, question 5. The ABC Murders features a killer working their way through an alphabet of victims. Recommend a mystery involving a serial killer. So for this one, I have picked, ta-da, this is Winter Frost by R.D. Wingfield. This is one of the books in the Frost series by R.D. Wingfield that started in the 1980s and finished in the early 2000s. This one was published in the year 2000. R.D. Wingfield has since passed away, but when you think of A Touch of Frost starring David Jason, these books are where that has come from. This book is about the killings of a few different people, including ladies of the night, shall we say? Ladies of a certain profession, shall we say. And it's a serial killer that is doing that. And these books, all the Frost books, are wonderful, and I do think they're underread and more people should read them. I read them in 1 or 2 sittings, despite the fact that they are really rather chunky. They just, as soon as you're in and you're hooked, and they're brilliant, so that one. 6. Dumb Witness. Bob the dog helps Poirot investigate in this one. Can you recommend a book where animal helps to solve the case? Quite simply, no. I couldn't think of anything that beats Dumb Witness by Agatha Christie, because it's just, oh, it's so, so good. So in this book, we have a murder that takes place, but we have Bob. Bob is a dog, and he has like the same routine with his ball and his bed, and it's just so cute. And as a dog lover and a dog owner, I couldn't help but not love this one. And if you haven't read it, please do. Please, please, please do. 7. Five Little Pigs. Poirot solves several cases in his time that have been closed for years. Which is your favourite cold case Poirot? And for me, this one is Five Little Pigs, but I'll get to it later. 8. Dead Man's Folly is famously set at Agatha Christie's own holiday home, Greenway, which I have visited and is wonderful, and you should too if you can get there. What is your favourite murder mystery setting? Well, I kind of have 2. I like, you know, the big country houses sort of thing, but I also really like academic settings, and so I've got 2 kind of academic setting books to recommend you. I have Miss Pym Disposes by Josephine Tay, which is set in a ladies' like physical education college, and it's wonderful. It's a very, very slow burner. And then I have Gaudy Night by Dorothy R. Sayers. How can I not talk about Sayers? I love Sayers. This is brilliant. This is set at also a ladies' college actually, but this is set in Oxford. And Harriet Vane goes back there for like a reunion that's called a Gaudy Night, and there she is asked by like the dean and stuff whether she will investigate what's gone on with these like horrible happenings that's been going and poisonous pen writers and stuff, and it's fantastic. It's absolutely huge, but yeah, it's brilliant and you should read it. Question 9 is, do you have a favourite Poirot mystery? Now, no, I have 2. These 2 I toss and turn between so many times, and if you know me by now, you'll know what they are. So they are Five Little Pigs and Sad Cypress. I can't choose between. As soon as I've read one, I then want to read the other one, and like, so say I read this, I'll be like, oh, this is my favourite at the moment. Then I'll read this and I'll be like, no, this is my favourite, and it chops and changes. So can't decide between them. But right, I'll talk about Five Little Pigs first because that came up earlier. This is a cold case where a young lady called Caroline Crail comes to Poirot and says, I want you to go back and investigate the murder of my father, Amyas Crail. My mother, also called Caroline Crail, was charged and convicted of his murder. She ended up in prison, in which she died within a year, and all was kind of said and done. But I want you to go back into the past, into 14 years previously, to find out what really happened. And so he does. He goes back into the past. He goes and talks to like the judges, the prosecution, all the people in court first, and then he goes to talk to the 5 Little Pigs, the 5 key witnesses that witnessed the goings on that summer, to work out what really happened, and was Caroline Crail Sr. really guilty, and if not, who had done it. The reason why I love this so much is because it's such a slow burner. It is the same story over and over and over again. It's the same telling over and over and over again. But this book shows how good Agatha Christie is at writing characters. Every single character sees Caroline Crail differently. Someone would be like, oh, she was innocent, she was so lovely. Someone was like, oh, she was a vicious cow, hated her, she did it, she poisoned Amyas. And it's like, oh. And it's just the human mind and it's human perception, and it's so genius, and it's just a cozy, warm sort of feeling book. So that one, and then, oh, which also has such a good ending. And then this one, this is Sad Cypress. This is about a woman called Eleanor Carlisle, who when we first meet her is in the dock, and she is on a trial for her life for the murder of Mary Gerard, who was her ex-fiance's sort of love interest, I guess. Eleanor Carlisle seems to be the only person to have like the motives, the means, the opportunity to do it. But did she do it? Poirot goes and finds out. This one is like a courtroom drama, so you start in the courtroom, finish in the courtroom, and I love that. And I love those two characters in this, Caroline Crail and Eleanor Carlisle, the best Agatha Christie characters ever. So yes, those two are my favourite books. And finally, question 10, how many Poirot books have you read, and which one do you plan to read next? I have read all of Agatha Christie's books that she wrote under Agatha Christie, including her short stories and all that stuff, and I love them all. Some more than others, obviously. Plan on reading next, well, rereading in my case, it'll be whatever comes up in hashtag ChristieFest, which I run with Julie from the channel Hungry Bookworm. We run that together and it's lovely. But also, because it is coming up to being cold, I will be returning to rereading Sad Cypress. This book is set during the summer, but I always read it in winter. Don't ask me why, I just do. And then once I've finished rereading that, I will go on to rereading this because I just have that as a habit. I don't know. Don't ask me why I do things the way I do. I just do. So there we are. That is the Hercule Poirot mystery book tag. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, let me know in the comments section. You can answer the questions away in the comment section if you want to. As for tagging people, well, I've been just tagging everyone. Anyone that fancies doing this tag that hasn't been tagged previously, go ahead and do it. It's lots of fun, and think of lots of Agatha Christie books and lots of just general murder mysteries in general and crime books, and it's just, yeah, I really enjoy talking about crime and mystery, and yeah, it's enjoyable for me. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I shall see you soon for the next video. Bye for now.